Speak macro keeps the frame honest, even when the next print is only a confirmation check. Watchlist note, macro tape. Watch rates, inflation, and central bank tone because they set the backdrop for every other bucket. Prosody rate equals -3% macro is the backdrop for the whole digest, because rates and policy shape every other bucket. Prosody macro tape. The 10-year yield is 4.54%, oil is $92, and fear and greed is around 5. Source health is clean enough to use the tape as confirmation, not the thesis. The point of this format is speed with structure. We do not chase noise. Prosody rate equals +5%. We start with the top signal, test it against macro conditions, and only then build a tradable conclusion. /prosody/speak. Speak international breadth is the cleanest way to see whether the same setup is spreading beyond the US tape. Watchlist note, semiconductor spillover. Watch whether design wins, networking, and optics commentary broaden the AI trade beyond one name and into the supply chain. Prosody rate equals +5%. International breadth matters because the same spending and growth story often shows up outside the US tape first. /prosody global breadth. CWI is -2.98%, EAFE is -2.56%, and emerging markets are -6.53%. Source health is clean enough to use the tape as confirmation, not the thesis. The context layer matters because a headline without the tape is usually misleading. With SPX at -2.64% and world equities at -2.98%, we can quickly classify whether risk is broad, narrow, or already rolling over. A good process also separates levels from narrative. Levels tell you what is happening now. Narrative tells you why participants are willing to hold risk through volatility. You need both to avoid late entries. Speak. Speak Alphabet files 8K current report. The exact language can reset timing, risk, or cash use assumptions. Estimate impact, SEC filing on June 5, 2026. Form 8K items 1.01, 3.03, 5.03, 9.01. Primary filing text references acquisition, agreement, earnings detail. Watch list, watch the exact language, effective dates, and any capex or operating detail. If it stops confirming, if the filing does not change expectations, the move stays centered on Google. Watchlist note, cloud capex and backlog conversion. Watch whether spending schedules, RPO, and enterprise adoption turn into revenue guidance instead of another headline spike. US stocks still need primary source confirmation, because filings and guidance move estimates more than commentary. US stocks, SPY is -2.64% and QQQ is -4.80%, so domestic breadth still matters. Source health is clean enough to use the tape as confirmation, not the thesis. In this chapter we focus on signal quality. Ask 3 questions: is the move broad, is it persistent, and is volume confirming it? Prosody rate equals +5%. A clean yes to all 3 is stronger than any single headline. /prosody/speak. Speak crypto still turns fastest when flows, regulation, and risk appetite move together. Watchlist note, cloud capex and backlog conversion. Watch whether spending schedules, RPO, and enterprise adoption turn into revenue guidance instead of another headline spike. Crypto stays the quickest liquidity red, so flows, regulation, and issuer disclosures matter most. Crypto tape, Bitcoin is around $63,260, and volatility stays part of the liquidity red with VIX near flat. Source health is clean enough to use the tape as confirmation, not the thesis. Macro pressure usually transmits through discount rates and energy costs first. With 10-year yields near 4.54 and oil around $92, the burden of proof for risk assets gets higher. The goal is not to forecast every print. The goal is to classify regime, easing, neutral, or tightening. Once regime is identified, position sizing and holding period become much clearer. Speak. Speak disclaimer, this content is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not investment advice. Educational analysis can reduce decision noise, but it cannot remove risk. Treat every view as a hypothesis to test with your own data and constraints. Use the video to sharpen judgment, not to outsource it. Your process should stay in charge, even when the story sounds compelling. Speak.